re-up for this year. And guys covering this area, or Depot and Winfield and those kind of schools, is Whitemore and the Livestock Risk Management Partnership over in Minneapolis. And they want me to let you know that they're now insuring for cattle loss. Scott, my first question for you is, what positions are you having to replace from graduation last year?
Well, we're missing on offense, offensive line. We lost Grant Anderson. It was a 3-year starter for us. And then obviously both sides of the ball with him. And then also our receiving, we lost Max Edwards, who was a big time receiver, tight end for us. So those are the two big losses that we got to use. We lost our main running back, and we're able to, have guys fill that space. But Grant and Max were big losses for us on both sides of the ball.
Well, your quarterback coming back?
Yep.
So that's good. That's a good foundation for everything. Well, Max was a terrific player, and so was this Anderson kid. I thought there were some Anderson brothers.
Yep, there's a younger brother. He's a junior for us, and I look for him to have a great season on both sides of the ball. He's going to play offensive line and middle linebacker for us, and he's shown this first week. He's shown a lot of promise on both sides of it. So we're pretty excited about him.
Well, I was really impressed last time we did get a chance to see your team, how good those boys played. Well, all right, let's go to the offense. The quarterback's back. He's got another year of experience. Who's going to be, and maybe you got a backup quarterback or something, but what is the quarterback situation like?
Yeah, Cody Milks is back for us. He's a senior. He's like second returning in the state with yards from last year. So he had a great year last year. And so we look for him to be another solid year for us, make good decisions with the ball, take care of the ball. And then backing him up will be sophomore Graham Haynes. And Graham's a kid that plays a lot of sports, got pretty high sports IQ. What he doesn't have is experience. So he'll get some JV reps and things this year. But those are the guys that are probably going to take snaps for us at the varsity level.
Okay. Oh, shit. Tell me a little bit about who are the targets for him. I mean, who's the receivers and the running backs and the fullbacks he can get the ball to.
Yeah, Tayson Samuels is back. Tayson's one of the top 5 returning receivers in Class 8 man. And so we look for him once again to be a big target for us. We also throw into Graham can play a little receiver. Kate Sweezer will be out there, as well as Trayton Kellogg. So Kale Kerr as well. So those guys, whether they're running the ball or catching the ball, they're going to be our offensive weapons for us.
All right. Well, let's talk about the offensive line. We've got to keep the quarterback upright, create holes. Nothing really works on offense. Just the offensive line, is having a poor game. Tell me a little bit about. I know you're replacing at least one of these guys, and a big time player. Tell me a little bit about, maybe who's got some opportunities here to get into the offensive line and where you think you're at.
Yeah, so like I said, we're replacing Grant Anderson. His brother Colin has moved from tight end to guard for us since we had a kid not go out this year. So Colin stepped in, done a really nice job. Senior Wyatt Palmer is going to probably play center for us. He's looking like he's doing a nice job in that spot. And then we have a sophomore in the name of Alden Peck who's stepped up at guard. He's a kid that needs reps. He needs to kind of find out that varsity tempo, that varsity speed, but he's improving every day. From where we were 2 weeks ago in camp to where we ended on Friday. He's steadily improved, which is what you ask, right? Try to get better every day and don't make the same mistakes you did the day before. And so we're real happy with the way he's doing things, and those are probably our top 3 right now. There's some other guys that we're trying to figure out how can we get them in the mix, how can we get them reps, and so if somebody's tired or cramps or something, we're going to be all right to go. But those would be the primary 3 right now.
Now, tell me a little bit about the defense. Let's start with the defensive line. Probably some of the same names we're going to be talking about. But how did you feel like you were doing last year on your defensive line, and what do you feel like how strong it is this year?
Yeah, we have different guys, different faces, right? Palmer's back in the middle. He's had himself a really nice offseason. He's committed to Cornell already, so he's excited and ready to just play. And then the before mentioned Alden Peck, right? He's looking to play some defense for us. A senior in Kevin Perez. And then we kind of have some question marks. We have a couple guys that are looking to play the weak side end or the quick end, between Kale Kerr and Cade Sweezer and sophomore Traeger Smith. There's some question marks right now. This week we got to get it figured out. We'll scrimmage at the end of the week, and those guys are all going to get reps, and so we'll be able to evaluate from there. But 2 of the 3 spots are pretty solid right now. Like I said, the other one's kind of a question mark, and it might be by committee to start out and kind of give everybody, here's a series, and see who's got traction, and we'll go from there.
Well, if there's a quarterback on the defense, it's probably the middle linebacker.
Yep.
In your 8-man football, linebackers really are made a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, where you feel there.
Yeah. So Colin Anderson, like I mentioned before, he's really going to step up for us. He played for us last year at that position, and he did a nice job. And then this year, though, he's just taking his game to the next level, right? He's been really consistent in the weight room, really getting after it, and in practice, he's done a really nice job. So, and he's communicating, he's showing leadership, those kind of things. So those are what you want out of your middle linebacker. Other linebackers we'll see out there, probably Cale Kerr. Cody Milks can play some linebacker for us. Trayton Kellogg, a sophomore, you might see him on the field as well. So we've got 4 guys for 2 positions that I feel really comfortable with at the varsity level, and so we're excited about that. We've had a pretty good linebacker tradition here for the last 15 years. Obviously, we had a really good one here a couple years ago, but dating all the way back to 2015 with Sam Jennings, and even back into the late 2000s, we had Corey Reynolds. So our middle linebacker has always been pretty solid, and so I look for Colin to continue that legacy here.
All right. Well, let's talk about the backfield. You've had some pretty good guys in the backfield, and I've watched you play where guys made interceptions or turned the ball over in the backfield. It helped you win games. Maybe wouldn't have won games without those.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about a part of the team that I think you've always done an excellent job, or you've always had excellent players at is the backfield, and who are these guys?
Yeah, it starts with Tayson Samuels. He's our senior and he's our leader. He has the most reps under his belt back there. Excuse me. So he's definitely going to lead the way. And then, Cade Sweezer, I said he could play D-line. He might also play defensive back. That's the great thing about 8-man football is you got a guy that might be on the line one play and a defensive back the next play and linebacker the next play. So, Sweezer and then safety sophomore Graham Haynes. Those are probably the 3 main guys right now. And then Cody can play in the backfield as well. So, we got about 10, 12 guys for the 8 positions on both sides of the ball that we feel pretty comfortable with. And so, we're trying to build a little depth, get guys reps. And like I said, we have a scrimmage Friday, so we'll, have a better idea a week from today about who can play what and where.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you about the special teams the next time we talk, because we're putting everything together, but we know that's a real important part of the game. But you mentioned the scrimmage, and that was my next question. This is point A, and the opening game is point B, and what do you got on tap in between to get ready for that opening?
Yeah, we're going to scrimmage New London. They're just playing a JV season, and they're playing 11-man, but Coach Bailey and I have been talking about how we can do some 11-man stuff for them. They'll do some 8-man stuff for us, so we'll kind of both get reps, and it'll be good for his young guys to kind of get something that, before, just another game atmosphere for them, right? Try to build your program back. You got to get those guys reps. They got to be involved in those kind of things. So be good for them. It's good for us. Then we can tee up for Easton Valley, who's no slouch. I know they lost, one of the best passers in 8-man, one of the best receivers in 8-man, but they've always been consistently good. So, and then we're right in district play in week 2. So, the more traffic or, the more reps we can get before we get going into the season and in district play right away, we feel pretty good about it.
Well, I kind of like what New London did. I wasn't super happy that they weren't playing a varsity season because it does other teams make some, but they did it. They announced it in time that you could get a makeup game going. And I like it that they're doing their JV because I think they have enough players. I just think they're young and they don't have those upperclassmen.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Davis County here last week, who's a Class 2A program, shut the doors and just play JV. So, it's something that is going around. I just read an article this morning that Iowa has an 18% drop-off in football participation over the last couple of years. So, we got to try and urge our kids to be a part of it. And as coaches, we have to do a better job of making our programs desirable for kids to be a part, whether it's, practice and perks and those kind of things. But
yeah, when I was in high school, everybody went out for football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's 93 kids on the football team there, but nowadays, I don't know what the percentage is. I probably bet it's less than half.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? There's so many more distractions from when you were in school. When I was in school, that kids are being pulled in different ways, whether it's work or they just don't want to be uncomfortable. There's the whole spectrum of things. So, like I said, it comes down to us coaches. Can we make our program inexperienced and desirable for kids to want to be a part of? And if you do that, that's why you see certain kids. Iowa Valley's got 39 kids out. Waco's got over 30. We have 22. That's a pretty good number for us. I'd like to be at 25, but 22 is good. And there's 11-man programs that only have 21 or 22. So, You know, I'm happy with where we are, and I think we've built a program here built on, you know, creating an experience for kids where practice isn't the worst part of their day, right? Where they look forward to practice. It might be hard for them, but you know, they don't walk out of practice hating it. So that's kind of our program goal is to make practice one of the best parts of their day and get better at football and become better young people.
Well,
and go from there.
Let's talk about the schedule.
Okay.
I don't know how many non-conference games you got. I know your first game is non-conference.
Yep.
Let's talk about the non-conference schedule.
Yep, so we had Easton Valley scheduled week 1, and then we actually picked up one because Lone Tree dumped us, or dumped their program.
Well, they're combined with.
Last year they just played JV, and now this year they're with Highland. So we picked up Murray. They're kind of in southwest Iowa area. They actually emailed us and said, you know, let's, you want to play and can you host? Yes and yes. You know, so we're ready to go for that one. And then those are our 2 non-districts. So it's kind of weird. Week 1, that's awesome. But then week 7, that's kind of a weird deal there. So hopefully we can, you know, get some guys rested and do some things there, and we can, you know, have week 8 be a meaningful game for us like it was last year, and be ready to go and try to make a playoff push.
I'm going to be limited in what I can do varsity-wise. We've tried to get over to senior junior varsity at some point. I'm going to be doing Monday night and Thursday night football, and we're going to be doing some curtain raisers also during the Friday nights. But you know, last year you had a game on Thursday, and I was able to broadcast that. Is there any of that?
No, we have no Thursday games this year.
Thursday games this year. Well, walk me through a little bit about your conference games.
Yeah, so we open with Waco. Waco's always solid. Coach Ethiger does a nice job of having those kids ready to play. They know who they are, and he doesn't deviate much from it. He finds what works within their system, and he makes it work. So they got the Shellman kid back. He's a really nice athlete. You know, you see him in all these preseason top 10s and all these kind of things. So he's going to be a handful. Our next is the English Valley's team. They got an Anderson kid, you know, real fast kid. He was a really good running back. He luckily for us, unlucky for him, he got hurt at halftime last year. Otherwise, that game turns out probably differently. So English Valley is our next one. Then we go, actually, we have another non-district game. I apologize, I forgot. We put Wayne over in Corden, real physical team. You know, they kind of line up and just punch you in the mouth. And then we double back that with a district game of Iowa Valley, who I think should probably be one of the top 3 teams in the state this year. I hope they can get over the hump. You know, they've got some really nice players, and Coach Kroll does a really great job up there getting his guys ready to go. So they're going to probably be the cream of the crop in our district. We follow that with HLV Tri-County. You know, they're one of those teams that got a second-year coach now, so they'll be moving, you know, and probably hitting on all cylinders. And then we'll finish with Belle Plaine up at Belle Plaine, and they're another real. I didn't really know much about Belle Plaine, but they were a very, you know, blue-collar, tough team when we played them. The Sancock kids were real tough. So thankfully they graduated, and I don't know if they've replaced their rosters now.
Yeah, they have definitely improved. A lot of those schools you're talking about have improved. You say you're going to play Wayne this year.
Yep, we played Wayne.
I have been petitioning the Iowa High School Athletic Association to combine Wayne and the school Newton.
Yeah.
We'd have the Wayne Newton school district.
Be a heck of a commute, but it would be a good team.
Right?
Yeah,
you know,
I like it.
I mean, the jokes write themselves.
Right.
If we could ever make that happen. Well, anyway, that's about all the questions I have for you. Is there anything we didn't get to talk about that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, you know, we've had a good off season. We look forward to our kids getting ready to go and just hitting, you know, being brilliant at the basics is what we talk about every day. So, you know, hopefully our kids are dialed in, ready to go this year, and we'll find out scrimmage on Friday, and then we're off and running for the next 8 weeks. So.
Are there any details on that scrimmage on Friday? What time?
We're going to be here in Wingfield at 6:30.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for taking a little time with us, and good luck this season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice, man.